Hi everybody, we're up to circles number 3, angles formed by tangents and secants. So by now you should know what a tangent and a secant are because we did talk about that in the first section. And we're going to be looking at how to find the measure of an angle formed by 2 tangents, 2 secants, or 1 secant with 1 tangent. And we can also use this backwards to find the measure of an arc. So the formula is the outer arc minus the inner arc divided by 2 equals the angle measure. So let's take a look at what that means. Again, point P is the center if we see one in the question. So the outer arc would mean this one on the outer part of the angle, so 140, minus the inner arc, which would be 32. Divide that by 2, and that will give us the angle measure, which is marked X. So 140 minus 32 is 108 divided by 2, and that would be 54. Now, number 2, we only have this one arc, that's 250, and because they are 2 tangents forming the angle, that would mean that this whole circle is only divided into 2 arcs, that pink one and this one. So all we would have to do here is subtract 250 from 360, which would be 110, and that tells us what the other arc measure would be. So now we can continue to follow the formula. 250 is the outer arc, minus 110 for the inner arc divided by 2 equals the angle marked X. So 140 over 2 would be 70. Okay, scrolling down. Now we have an angle formed by 1 secant and 1 tangent. But again, same formula, the outer arc, 163, minus the inner arc is 71, divided by 2 equals the angle. So 163 minus 71 is 92, divided by 2, and that would be 46. Okay, now number 4, we have the same situation, but we're looking for the outer arc measure. So just follow the same order in the formula. Outer arc is X minus the inner arc divided by 2 equals the angle, which is 41. So now we're going to multiply both sides of the equation by 2, which will cancel out that 2. X minus 71 equals 82, and then add 71, so X equals 153. And in our next example, we're going to be finding the measure of the inner arc, but same formula, 107 is the outer arc minus X is the inner arc divided by 2 equals the angle, which is 32. So again, multiply by 2 on both sides of the equation. Cancel that out. 107 minus X equals 64. And then if you subtract 107 from 64, you have negative X equals negative 43, and that means X equals positive 43. Now number 6, this is the only question that we've seen the center point pop up, and that means that what we have here is a diameter, which means that this portion of the circle is a semicircle or half a circle, which is 180 degrees. So that's going to help us out because Okay, so that means that we're going to have to figure out what these two arcs are, the two that we actually need to subtract. So x would be the outer arc, and the inner arc, we don't know what that is, but we're going to use this fact that this part is 110 to help us out. So if this is 110 and this is x, the other piece of the inner arc is going to be 180 minus 110 plus x. So let me explain that again. 110 is this portion, and x is this portion. And if we subtract that part from 180, it will leave us with this inner arc that we need. Okay, let's erase some of this. So that is the smaller. Distribute that negative. 180 minus 110 minus x. 180 minus 110 is 70 minus x. So that is what this inner arc is, 70 minus x. Okay, so now I'm ready to do the formula. The outer arc minus the inner arc, 70 minus x, divided by 2 equals the angle, which is 30. Now distribute that negative again. X minus 70 plus x over 2 equals 30. So I'm going to multiply by 2 on both sides again. So we're going to cancel that out, and I'm also going to combine these two x's. So 2x minus 70 equals 60. Now add 70. 2x equals 130, and divide by 2. Okay, so I know that one was a little bit tricky, so let's go back through those steps one more time. Remember, the entire semicircle equals 180. We already know that this is 110 and this is x. So if we combine 110 with x and subtract that from 180, it gives us the remaining piece of the arc there. So that's what this whole part here was all about. Okay, so hit pause, do the now you try section, come back when you're ready. Okay, so I hope that went well. I'm pretty sure you're not too happy with me about number 4, but that's okay, we'll go through it. All right, so number 1 was pretty straightforward. You have your outer arc is 87, your inner arc is 33, divided by 2 equals x. So 87 minus 33 is 54, divided by 2 is 27. Number 2, this is 120, which means the rest of the circle would be 240. So we have 240 is the outer minus 120 for the inner over 2 equals x. So 120 over 2 is 60. Number 3, we're looking for that outer arc. So x minus 62 divided by 2 equals 27. Multiply both sides by 2. So x minus 62 equals 54. And then add 62. So x equals 116. Okay, number 4. You had to take the outer arc, which is 7x plus 26, subtract the inner arc. Now notice that I'm putting this in parentheses. Divide that by 2 and set it equal to the angle. So remember here, you want to put that in parentheses because the negative applies to the entire arc, 6x minus 5. You want to distribute the negative. So 7x plus 26 minus 6x plus 5, distribute that, and over 2 equals x plus 2. So the numerator will be, if we combine x's here, 7 minus 6 is 1x, 26 plus 5 is 31, over 2 equals x plus 2. Now I'm going to multiply by 2 on both sides. Now notice what I'm doing here, putting that x plus 2 in parentheses because we're going to have to distribute the 2. So x plus 31 equals 2x plus 4. And then if we subtract x, we have 31 equals x plus 4. And subtract 4 from each side, and x equals 27. Okay, hope that was helpful for you. And we still have a few more sections on circles. The next one is going to be what happens when you have intersecting chords. So we'll be looking at some vertical angles. And we're also going to look at segment lengths in the next section, not just angles. So come on back, and of course visit us at themathmasters.com if you enjoy these videos, or if you'd like copies of any of the worksheets that you see in these videos. Thank you for watching.